if you feel say the census not get for born good pikin, and not get for give accurate results, we not go support them. And we call for, say, before una they do all them things the year, where una no say get for impact the people, impact the democracy, why una no they ever call political parties, say una can, this one for do not the reason this. Now, we get serious, solid reasons there why would they call them questions then they. First of all, members say we just come up a medical state of emergency, where basically that means to say beaucoup things then due to the COVID, things then don't grind to a halt or things then don't calm down. Now, in order for let we go able for do this census, beaucoup things then the way for don't do. And we want for engage for say all them things so don't do in order that when una don't done the census, the numbers the way una they give it go be accurate, go be credible, because then numbers there how they get for impact the next election. Remember, say this na 2021. Council elections by right for begin 2022. General elections na 2023. And census usually na every 10 years. Waiting at the justification for a midterm census now, power now, a year before local council elections and 2 years before general elections. Problem there for let we sit down and engage and say, why the rush? Why now?
The main goal, according to you, for protect the democracy of Sierra Leone. And normally, we don't see usai una they do it individually as political parties.
Exactly.
But now una decide for margin, form a force.
Yes.
Is it that the voices of individual as a political party una think say the one day una don't they ask question the government, no they hear you una individual and I make una decide for form this force?
Yes. To answer your question, yes. Now the exact thing that they with letters, then when they send letters, even as a force, we still get issues of being for letter engage. Okay, I'll give you a typical example. Let me take and go far back. The appointment of, let me say, we can go as far as the PPRC chair, the NG, the NEC chair, where the Constitution says you involve political parties in that selection. Or, you discuss with us, you engage with us in appointing the new NEC chair or the PPRC. They not do that. They went ahead and appointed it as pleased His Excellency, threw it at us, and there was no discussion. It was a fait accompli. So we don't get that. Even we can go even further back than that. But let me start today. So in areas where the Constitution is clear on what the government should do, then they do one. Then they do no more waiting they feel, then they tell we. In the case of both letters, we write letters. For say, when it happened with the PPRC chair, we write letter. But it happened again when they elect the next chair. That means to say, if single parties then they talk, nobody they're not be seen. Once they don't appoint it as please His Excellency, they don't go before, then don't done.
Let's begin for highlight some of the issues them we una come up with. One pandemic it gets for do with the census. The other one, it gets for do the cybercrime bill and also the local government policy.
Yes.
Let me start with the census. Yesterday, boldly, you call on a different party supporter them, not for take part in the census. Why?
I want to follow we clarify, Dandy. We get various issues where we say, then for clarify, we for sit down and engage. If you feel say the census not get for born good picking and not get for give accurate results, we not go support them. And we call for say before una they do all them things the year, where una no say get for impact the people, impact the democracy. Why una not they ever call political parties say una can this one for do not the reason this. Now we get serious, solid reasons then why would they call them questions then they. First of all, members say we just come up a medical state of emergency. Where basically that means to say beaucoup things then due to the COVID, things then don't grind to a halt or things then don't calm down. Now, in order for let we go able for do this census, beaucoup things then they wait for don't do. And we want for engage for say all things so don't do in order that what una don't done the census, the numbers the way una they give it go be accurate, go be credible, because then numbers there how they get for impact the next election. Remember, say this na 2021. Council elections by right for begin 2022. General elections are 2023. And census usually na every 10 years. Waiting at the justification for a midterm census now, power now, a year before local council elections and 2 years before general elections. Problem there for let we sit down and engage and say, why the rush? Why now? Why not wait for the 10-year cycle? Now, we don't understand, say, they don't give $6 million. They get a midterm census now. Then, in 3 years' time, we get the main 10-year census. So, waiting at the justification.
So, una then 12 political parties think, say, Salona forgets a midterm census?
We know they say just that, not forget. One, we go like for no waiting at the justification for the midterm census, but that's not the main issue. If una they can't do una don't get this amount of money. Waiting at the checks and balances and guarantees where una don't put in place for make sure say their numbers then they go be accurate. Take for example the number of people now. This midterm census is apparently 100% technology based, not a paper based. That technology. So you look at the constraints in terms of that, in terms of the energy, the power, in terms of the manpower, in terms of the skill set, in terms of the equipment.
So now waiting on a fear.
Say the numbers somewhere along the line, by the end of the day, we go get numbers that are not accurate.
All right. Continue for the with we in the program, Femi Claudius Cole. In case you just tune in, today in the program, we look at issues them where 11 political parties they will come together and form a consortium for progressive political parties. Then we highlight some issues them we then get and outside and call on them party member and supporter them not for take part in the midterm census we go begin just now. Well, that now be the acting chairperson for this consortium, Femi Claudius Cole, be they outline some of the issues them we then get. Would they come over to Imran Sila, a commodity and the Strategic Communications Unit under the Ministry of Information and Communication. Mr. Sila, una a unit where the Ministry of Information set up for talk for government, especially on critical issues them, like this way another political party them wouldn't come up and begin highlight. Before we talk about the highlighted issues, first of all, I want to take the news of 12 political parties merge and form a consortium.
Well, I'll tell you thank you again. I mean, I shall say we're all aware, say we live in a democracy, yeah? And democracy in itself, they encourage debates. It doesn't prevent individuals, institutions, or political parties for adopt within their own position. So I will speak to some of the issues then, but not necessarily go speak to the press release because there will be an official position at some point from government on the issues there, right? And the fact that there is a press release from, 12, as you say, signatories to a statement we come on for on behalf of political parties. But it is an issue in relation to the census. You know, I think, say, statistics earlier on.
I first ask you how una receive the news of political parties merging and forming a consortium. I go
re-echo it I just don't say. Yeah? Which is, number one, we are living in a democracy. The democratic space make provision, right, for individuals and political parties and interested groups them for form an opinion or for come together and express their views and opinion. Also, and I think Senator Femi Claudius Cole don't do and the other political parties them. In terms of a response to Dande, it is going to be official, so I cannot speak to the official nature of them. But issues then they raise up, right? It just don't mention one we get for do with statistics earlier and also, and the census. So that's the issue. Since the first one, I go on for talk about small. A few things then they are left fumble to understand. Number one, this exercise is being supported by World Bank, which is a major partner, UNFPA, UNICEF, UNECA, and other statistics offices them at the sub-region. So Ghana, they provide the technical support. Kenya, they provide tablets them, And, it shows that this is not just something where somebody just sleep and wake with and decide for rollout. You don't bring all of the institutions there, international organizations there together, where they put their money and technical efforts and expertise on a project, and somehow you think lightly of them, right? Because these are reputable institutions, organizations around the world, where naturally they partner on issues then we then feel, say, get some validity. Second, I don't think say anything be preclude or stop Femi Claudius Cole and others, because I was in a lengthy conversation yesterday with Malamo, right, with the in charge of statistics earlier. And he's such an open individual that nothing should stop Femi Claudius Cole and others for go to that relevant institution there and go engage and find out what's happening, yeah? We are aware, say, that the law provides two things. Yes, there can be census every 10 years, but then the law also provides, and this is what I want to let Fambulen get clear, that a president can ask for a census to be done as provided for in the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone, 1991, as amended. Yeah? And so that is what the president has done, His Excellency, made this pronouncement. Now, which informed that decision there? It go interest Fambulen for no say. 60%, because statistics Sierra Leone are the institution where everybody they run to for information, data and statistics. So it is not only local institution, we talk about international institutions as well. And for the last census that was done in 2015, as we did talk now, 60% of any data information you want, statistics Sierra Leone not able to provide them. Why is that the case? In the census of 2015, you get what you call mismatch of codes. Everything was done paper way. So then take papers, then go to the field, go do the surveys, then hire transport them, take bundles of them paper then they bring them come and can begin for like painstakingly to go through them. In the process, then codes then did a mismatch them. It did not happen for 100% of the country, yeah, but suffice for say 60%, right, around the country was mismatched. And so you cannot get an exact data and statistics on the relevant things then we get for the nation building, or if institutions then they seek the information in the, including in international institutions then, there is no way they're going to be able to have those. Within just, one final point. So Professor Malam O encouraged UNFPA, work closely with them, and say, this is not my observation. This seems to be a binding constraint to we work. What do you advise? Then come, go through the issues then, look at the data and statistics, and realize exactly within Professor Malamo they talk about. And then they said, we need to correct them because it is necessary for nation building for correct those. But here's the point. You can't go around the country and do 60% of the R&D and try for correct them. You might as well. That is too much percentage-wise, yeah, for just say, okay, well, we ignore the balance 40%, so you have to do everything all over again. That is why you have credible institutions. We don't partner with statistics earlier, right, for do this whole exercise again. And I see nothing wrong with that. Let's just say on a final note, I hope that them political parties there, Femi, will happen for be a sister, go engage more statistics earlier. If we begin for the C and continue for the C, every single genuine effort by government through political lens, I find it sad. Sad. Completely sad, I have to say.
Like you breakdown of some of the things them way Madam Cole highlight say now some of them fear we camp and the census. One, the technology we mainly then get for use for conduct the census. It make issues of internet challenge where the country they get and due to all them things they are so as a political parties then they fear say they not go get accurate figures. And also yesterday during the press conference they make statements of governments trying for get political advantage in all of this census process so they want for conduct.
Well, I mean, in terms of political advantage, I don't know where that is coming from, but I mean, it is for them to express specifically what I mean by political advantage. I don't know, so I cannot speak to it. But here's the point, and that is what Professor Malam O emphasized yesterday when we were to talk. He said this one is going to be technologically driven. Yeah? So when I mentioned, say, Kenya, they provide support to Statistics Sierra Leone. Kenya, they provide support in terms of the tablets them for go out in the field. So you won't be seeing papers and bundles of papers out in the field where people then physically get for go it, take pen and paper, they fill them in, package them, bring them canton, and somehow you ending up forget mismatch. It is going to be technologically driven. We know, say, so far the cartographic work is being done. Yeah? And the professor himself has been out on the field, right, for make sure, say, go oversee that exercise day. And so far, I think, say, the donors, them, World Bank, UNFPA, UNICEF, UNECA, you know, they're comfortable and happy with the progress made so far.
The mismatch of code, now one of the reasons then we begin explain but as to waiting lead the country to another census when at the midterm census.
Yeah.
And you don't talk about and say about 60% of areas then they way mismatch may happen, not all sign at the country.
Yeah.
And statistics salon begin the responsibility for carry out that 2015 census, the outside this mismatch of code happen.
Absolutely.
Now the same statistics salon get for do this midterm census. Although you say that technology then get for use this time around. Waiting at the difference where it be say the technology now people them get for enter the same code them inside the technology than the way you talk about and at the same statistics salon they do the work.
Yeah, I think there's a point missing in your analysis. One is the fact that you not include, say, training get for take place.
Then been training one and back way been going to the field for good
Who-
take
we
the
go-
information then they
we-
in 2015.
We go to paper, right, and manually get for count through every single paper we then go through. That is not what we're talking about.
But this technology now then go for fill and back. Then they fill the tablets same way you talk about. Now then go for enter the information.
So I say again, it is going to be technologically driven, yeah. Then training, then they get to be done, making sure that there's the right expertise for go out and go do the thing and day. And the possibility of mismatch. You know, in science, they tell you about possibilities and exactitudes, meaning you do lower the percentage. We would not be faced with a situation, I'll repeat myself again, we would not be faced with a situation where you get 60% inaccuracies in the collection of data because of the technology.
You make mention of the right expertise will be used. So is it that statistics salon be contract people in 2015 will not be know what they do?
It's interesting you raise the point, yeah. Professor Malamo actually not been in this country at that time.
Will they look at statistics
I'm
salon?
coming. He's the head. Now, he come and had to do a thorough check of the institution we come for head and understand fully what are the issues. And naturally, the issues there come up. So, he not sit alone by himself in a Statistics Sierra Leone and say, this is what we're going to do. He talked to others, them, international institutions, and say, these are the problems. This is what I have found out. Come and see for yourself. And indeed, it was verified. They understand what the issues are. And together, they agreed that they have to find a way forward. Yeah, you have to have exact data and statistics, right, in the possession of Statistics Sierra Leone, for able for.
I know they encourage them, and we all know how the politics pattern. The owners political party leader them una can get control over supporters them wey can belong now on various political party them.
Quite right.
So if una no dey encourage them not for partake, wetin exactly una mean?
We mean say we know if me feel to say you want can do something way good, you want can do something where they benefit the country. I they support them, I they go out of my way. Like when them begin do NCRA, this very same, at least maybe about 8 of we in this list, me included, join NCRA, I go Kwainadugu, I go McKinney, I go all side with the team for encourage people and say this NCRA project is good for Sierra Leone.
So this time around, we know they encourage.
We know they encourage.
About this. So, all right, Imran, back to the question why I ask you. Them political parties, I say they know they encourage their supporter them for partake na the census. When I get concerned about that day from a statement coming from 12 registered political parties.
There is also a prelude to it in then at the statement where Femi Claudius Cole talk about. No, so it raises issues them. Alaima?
We raise beaucoup issues then.
I'm coming. Yeah, just forgot the discussion. You raise issues and say those are of concern to UNA, not so. So now that make us say there are conditionalities to that statement when that lead to.
So government's ready for look into
the point how they make is this, and I don't state it earlier, I go repeat myself again. There is going to be an official response. But in the interim, I don't think anything they stop Femi Claudius Cole and political parties for go to Statistics Sierra Leone, right, and raise the issues today with the head of the institution.
This engagement where they propose so earlier, Madam Cole just stated say, then political party, they individually don't they make attempts for they engage or talk on issues they wouldn't feel say no they happen right. For example, the appointment of the PPRC chair, the appointment of the NEC chairperson, but then voice them, they not feel say that they hear them, when lead them to this consortium. Now you they propose for let them engage with statistics. You think so then go listen to them?
There's another age where they talk about attempting to beat a dead horse. Yeah. Where they talk about the here and now and the concerns then we then don't raise. Yeah. Those issues, there's going to be an official response to them. But then I would have been more happy, right? Well, probably not happy, not the right word. But I've been for them be more surprised. Yes, surprised. If amongst the things that we Femi Claudius Cole say, even say, oh, we'll go Statistics Sierra Leone, and nobody was able to talk to us. We don't write a letter to the head of Statistics Sierra Leone, and somehow they have not got back to us. That has not happened. Those issues are there. There is an institution responsible where they do the work right now, right? And I see nothing wrong for them for making an attempt for engage. They haven't done that.
Continue for the
and I go encourage them for making that effort today, right, and see how far they get with that.
Continue for the with the studio, Imran Silla from the Strategic Communication Unit, where we don't start earlier for sake of the concern them with 12 political parties they don't raise, but the census, the cybercrime bill, and safe. The local council act where something and the way they say they don't agree on. But they can look at the other one, but quickly still on the census.
Yes.
I might not make mention just to say then they expect another 12 political parties so again for reach out to statistics salon when then they handle the mid-term census where the country will get forget just now. So now the political party they don't ever make attempts for reach out to them for them concerns here when I get about the process.
I enjoy where Imran say that. So when I go talk to statistics earlier, the problem a big past dandy and a deep past dandy. The first conversation who will get forget. Number one, all the reasons that we Imran give when a justification for the census, most of them are valid. Yes, if fine for them we get an accurate census, we support that. There is no issue that Imran can convince me say so urgent. Now, remember, say when they first begin this, then get cause for postpone this one whole thing. That now because they know say they're not prepared. Two, let's just highlight a few things. One, they need about 20,000 people. Where they get for train, then get for recruit them, train them, and then deploy them in order for let the census be accurate. Then you say them people are get for all that technology. America, first world, then get issues where then they keep paper, then keep technology. We on challenges for Imran for Sidwaya, they tell me say we dey go 100% technology in order for let mistake no dey. There are areas of this country you know they even get network safe. Now not talk about for charge the tablets demo. So wetin we dey ask is, if a job is worth doing, where all them companies, there foreign people, I don't give you $6 million. Let me not spend them like a country where not they think. Let we plan now well. Then say when you plan to fail to plan, you plan to fail. We get 20,000 people where they can't train for let them use tablets for go inside the villages. Where then they're able to forget connectivity, then they're able to forget for charge the you can see the challenges up ahead. Una make sure say this plan, una don't cover all una base, then una don't ready for roll out. Waiting at the functionality of them tablets then the 20,000 tablets and they in country, una don't test them, una don't check them. The 20,000 people where they go operate them tablets and they have been recruited, trained and deployed.
So una get plan for go statistics salon and come back to una supporter them and tell them waiting una pull from the meeting.
No, the first engagement should be with the government where initiate a plan that is being rushed. They can tell us, we get forget conversation with them. At that meeting, they are quite free for invite the head of statistics Sierra Leone to come and sit in on that meeting.
When this meeting will be?
Imran, when will that meeting be?
Let us just make a few points, yeah? Number one, I know say there will be an official response, Femi, and that's not something that will happen very soon. Second, it seemed for the sort of cast doubt on the practicalities, yeah, of rolling out an exercise. Well,
the devil is in the details, Imran.
I just want to remind you and listeners, I hope you understand. So it's about making sure...
How would it be discovered?
It's about making sure you have a GPS tracking system, obviously. I mean,
that will confirm the location.
I'm not. Yeah, it confirms the location.
Yeah, but
it
not
also,
that the people were not fictitious.
It also confirm the fact say you actually been there at that location that they do work, and that you not sit down. I'm not sit down at McKinney, the claims say they can be, or not sit down at Bo, the claims say they can now.
So as you say, about 60% mismatch been there of the codes them. Why statistics salon not just focus for amend the 60% and make use of the balance when I really know say okay. And when resources then been put into that census process.
Okay, so
instead of scrapping all of it.
So you ask me again and you encourage me for repeat myself maybe and I go to down there for you and for Fambul them. Probably will not been listening. The point I make is this, yeah, that when Professor Head of Statistics discovered the issues there, he actually confer with, I'm coming, he actually confer with UNFPA and say, this is not the discovery I don't make. What do we do? Now, the point I make earlier...
You ever make mention for say the whole thing not been good. You say 60%, now in there we can get...
But not the same thing as they say, I not say anything different.
So, well, you they talk like say, I not be understand what you say earlier. My question is, why they not make do of the one them way okay, instead of doing a whole midterm census? Why they not just focus on the areas them no more we get problem?
Maybe Larry state my point again. Yeah, I mean probably you didn't misunderstand, but Larry just finish and then if you get any issues you go resolve. So with 60% anomaly or errors them in the coding system, right, with the census we then do in 2015, the understanding was you cannot just do 60% because that 60% they spread all over the country. So it makes much more sense for just do a comprehensive data collection and analysis again. And that is why UNFPA, World Bank, and other partners then, right, don't encourage statistics earlier and see the viability. Right. It's important to note the viability for make sure so we get another one done. Right. It is also provided for by law that President can make pronouncement regarding census if you see the need for do so.
We will come back to it. Let's just come quickly to Madam Cole. Apart from this census issue, we don't discuss other issues than they want to highlight. Na the release we pull yesterday. One part of the issue then the cyber crime bill, where suicide the Minister of Information and Communication can go to Parliament, but Parliament will send them back, say that it can do consultation, sensitization with the people, let them know waiting inside that building. as a consortium, what in your concern, una get for the bill?
The concerns are many, but I want beg you quick, let us end waiting Imran they say. Basically, the president get power for call a census at any time. Then the president in power then our constitution, then boku te then boku. But that does not mean say the decision where they make on this occasion is right. What they say is, let me sit down and look. If all the reasons they are right, why not wait until 2025? Imagine the whole world is with a pandemic where we not get a clean and slate too. They haven't shouted all clear. In light of all those handicaps, we dey wait for the tablets and for Komo Kenya. We dey wait for the experts and for Komo somewhere else. Why the rush? The conversation right now for us is with the government, not necessarily with statistics alone. They can sit in on the conversation. For go back to the cybercrime bill. Again, we applauded this government when the Public Order Act was amended. But lo and behold, they were in the back room cooking up the Public Order Act, the cybercrime bill, where like the Public Order Act on steroids. When you look at this document, number one, the Minister of Information becomes the judge, he becomes the jury, and he becomes the executioner. Now, in the determine, it is there in the document. The minister, upon conviction, such fine or terms of imprisonment as the minister may, by regulation made under this act, prescribe.
Just for clarity, Madam Cole, the last time we get the Minister of Information, so on the same issue, it can clearly say where this bill come under the law officers department, where been see a write letter to Parliament, say, no one empowers them.
Okay, now, that gives me great cause for concern. The cause for concern is our law officers. These are those custodians. Our law officers, educated, learned people, can actually sit down to put a document together. When then they write this sentence, nobody raised an alarm. The law officers, that sentence alone for me invalidates the entire document. It means nobody had their thinking cap on. I'm sorry. When una they give them kind powers they are to an individual, you the law officers, you are bypassing the legal avenues. This will be open to so much abuse. And then some of the language in this bill. The bill, this thing is so draconian. We realize we should have a comprehensive cybercrime bill. We agree. Say una the right term. Now what are the implications? Why are political parties worried? Why are we raising alarms? Because come electioneer time, these draconian laws will be used to victimize the oppositions, will be used to silence dissenting voices,
All right.
will be used to come to your office, take all your equipments. We have a situation now where there's an issue with an NGO whose computers have been taken and they wiped off all their information off their computers. So they are telling us they will train. They are telling us that infrastructure will be put in place. No, you put those structures in place, you have consultations, you have engagements, you have input. These are laws that we're bequeathing to our children, our grandchildren, the next generations of Sierra Leoneans. If a law is going to be put in place, enacted, let it be a good law.
All right, continue for the way at the studio, Madam Femi Claudius School. We can continue for look at our concerns and get response from government through Imran Sila within at the program this morning from the Ministry of Information Strategic Communication Unit.
Two studio guests them, Madam Femi Claudius School and Imran Sila, as we look at issues them where a consortium of 12 registered political parties them emerge and form where they call themselves progressive political parties. They highlight different issues them where they they get. And when they come back to you, Imran, you listen to Madam Cole, the second issue where they highlighted the press release. It gets to do with the cyber crime bill. Although consultations still they go on about this bill after we Parliament been sent and back with the Minister for let and do consultation, but you don't listen to waiting Madam Cole make one part and fear that if this bill become law, government go use them against them as opposition party them when it come to election time.
You know, one of the things that I promised myself this morning while the left was for CAM 98.1 that I go come and be honest and expect a honest debate on the issues them. I promise myself also say I not get involved in shenanigans and theatrics, yeah? Because, I mean, for beginning the dilly-dally, you know, you meander around the issues without actually...
Oh, congratulations!
You know, without actually getting to the substance of them. And on this issue... On this issue, when I hear political parties, then they talk, say, well, why make minister they suggest say one them powers then they... Now this same studio...
Imran, what's in your document?
You allude to that. Okay,
no, we are not suggesting that.
So you allow me now, I'll make my point?
Oh, you said you were not... having shenanigans.
Right. So, you know, now this very studio, minister conceived their say, any other minister supposed to get powers than they. What was sent to law officers as guideline in terms of the thought process of the minister and the ministry on this issue was clear. Everything in terms of penalty, you know, supposed as a minister, if I say, well, I mean, say that person don't commit cyber offense, becoming a minister, getting powers, and I go take him. No, it shouldn't be like that. And so that is a non-argument for me.
So why not the document?
Thank you.
Because at every given opportunity, both in public and in consultations and engagement with institutions, as recent as yesterday with political parties across the country, consumer parliament, in McKinney, when he meets with journalists, he has made the point that he actually wants any of them passed.
So why didn't have the document?
And who put it in there?
I do not work for law officers. Me, no. Hand on heart.
Ministry, now a ministry and a minister go lay am na parliament.
Hand on heart. Hand on heart, meaning I swear to God. I know for a fact that what left the ministry in terms of within our expectation and with that means our expectation is that those penalties should be included in the act itself. It should not be down to any single individual. Minister don't say that publicly in a year. I cannot comment on
so
within...
So not on a ministry puts the document together?
I cannot comment on within law officers do and which have been the thought process in doing it. So why
now you
but as at the point,
to the law officers department?
I'm not shifting.
This particular section, then at the bill, the minister himself take the bill, can go parliament.
Dija,
what if parliament will just pass some into law?
I'm not shift anything to law officers, you know, because I cannot, me not a lawyer. So I don't know the thought process.
So
I cannot
that
think
mean
for
the
them.
Ministry not been go to and before the minister go in a parliament soon? I don't know
in terms of an original notice that went to law officers for being drafted into an act, minister has been very categorical. He don't sit on here and has been very categorical also. So I think say for me, yeah, and for the public, there is closure to this matter because they don't state on several times and it will continue for Duam.
It's not going to be a closure
for the foreseeable future.
It's not going to be a closure.
He's not interested in it.
But waiting if they do inside the document, if he's not interested or minister
so let us assume for one moment that the man with the one give this power
the power.
Assuming that we the talk then within a year, we the one give this power don't categorically state na this very 98 years say it should not be me.
So why
those laws, then punishment and penalties will be prescribed in the act itself,
So why not
right, and has
they
nothing.
say,
one time.
hours, then they after where the public don't pick them up.
You been get the opportunity for ascribing instead and days, and also.
You there for represent. You there for represent.
He answer.
You represent the office of the government spokesman.
I am saying the point where they try to make is, I know.
For talk on issues.
And simply to say,
raise, and this is one of the issues. Then
I'm
simply there this morning in that capacity.
I appreciate that, Andy.
For answer every question we ask.
When I don't do. And me answer why I don't give so now on this issue. Not any different from waiting the minister himself sit down and talk. And I make reference say you be asking that question they been sit down and also is it any different from waiting Imran Silade say na ya?
Get to the
Well,
minister.
it is germane.
In the capacity where they represent the office.
That answer the germane to this discussion.
So an oversight.
Right.
Where the minister
and so the point is this. The point is this. Once it was picked up at that point in Parliament, I am coming. That it was contained. Minister already communicate. So all we do so now and for confirm within at the minister view because he has already communicated again that it should be removed and that those penalties should be prescribed. Now allow come out to the substance of himself on the cyber bill. Look, I don't hear so many narratives and comments. Yeah. And I find it unfortunate that we're playing politics again because this is about politics and nothing else. Well, you know, my sister Naya and political party and, you know, the sort of narrative over the area. And I go tell you what you make. We occupy a physical land space. And since independence, we have had laws. Yeah? Because the drafters of them law then they had foresight. Yeah? That man, right, in a land space, need for get laws them for guide and control we. Increasingly now we're living in a digital space also, yeah? And every other country, I don't know why I still probably want we for begin they look very backward as a nation, right? When we strive for catch up with the 21st century in real life. The point is this.
They don't want the whole cyber crime bill.
The point is this.
Now the thing the way they inside some of them and then gets concerned.
The point is this.
And some of the language.
Femi, can I just make my point? So you've been the talk and I interrupt.
Yeah, but you do hug all the time.
So now just make my point and then you'll have an opportunity to reply, please. Thank you. Now, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania have bills, cybercrime bills, yeah? And if you go through the young bills them, because that is what informed the one that
we practice different.
No, we need for no. No, one for no. We need for it's necessary.
Example, they practice different kind of democracy.
Now, kind of practice.
For remind you.
Now, kind of
because if you go through the own particular bill, the way they try for make comparison, which I believe say during the when they draft term, they allow diverse voices there for make contributions.
So
just like so with political party then.
So educate me a bit. Which kind of democracy then they practice?
I know they talk about democracy. They talk about inclusive voices, especially in this stage where the bill still there for consultation.
So I assume say you don't forget about the democracy then they practice as against we own you. They talk about inclusive voices now.
That's not the issue.
Now more specifically now to the No, interrupt. I beg, no interrupt, please. More specifically now to the inclusivity we talk about. Look, this has been going on, right, since 2018, yeah? Radisson Blue and other places them who bring a wide range of people together, including the Asylum Bar Association.
Except the
now, interestingly enough,
why not be included?
When Bar Association come, na the conference room, na the ministry, they say, well, they're not been getting invitation, and there are letters to that effect, yeah? But then, you know, the explanation was it was a previous administration. It's not the point is this. Those consultations.
Don't want the bill. Not seen them they where then they object to, where they want further clarifications on. Not that anybody they say they don't want the bill.
Meaning, right, we continue, right, as we don't do from day one, right? Put this bill together, make sure it is there. We welcome then debate there and the issues that then there is. We hope that then go able to put their thoughts together in something concrete that would be of some consequence.
So
that would sort of affect the bill.
When the ministry
we have met with political parties.
I want to talk about that meeting.
Right? We don't meet with several other groups them, and their engagements then they go continue. But let me just make one final point, yeah? Look, I think say we also suppose for able to begin to point out the safeguards them and go to section 7. You see so many safeguards. Nobody has arbitrary power, right, under this cyber bill for do anything with you want. Because even the powers for arrest and seize has to be through within the competent authority. Now we country, now this jurisdiction, as in any other jurisdiction, which has to be a court of law in front of a judge or magistrate, now they apply. So you not just the gap and say, you do go for go arrest, you do go for go make seizures. So many safeguards, and it is important for law to continue to emphasize that and let family know that this sort of scaremongering and fearmongering let us stop and small and let us discuss the issues they are. For written and be, let people go and read and understand not only this bill but also the attendance to this bill, which inform right within this bill.
The program, Imran Sila, a comment from the Strategic Communications Unit. So they look at concern them where 12 political parties don't form a consortium be raised inside a press release for them. All right, we continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We still get Madam Femi Claudius Cole, in the acting chairperson for the Consortium of Progressive Political Parties. Madam Cole, earlier, Imran in a defense, the consultation they go on, and then we don't meet to the political party them for bring out the issues that we wanna get about the cyber crime bill who they discuss now. In that meeting, what will be the outcome?
First of all, let I tell the members of parliament, then thank you, then do their work and then do it well. Because the errors they with the inside this document. If to say the parliamentarians, they mean they sleep on their wings, these documents, like a today, go be law. And from the time, for the past 1 year, when they know they work on this cyber crime bill, you want to tell me, say, nobody no pick it. This sentence is repeated after every single section. They repeat and they. So, I beg to ask, who drafted the document? Who proofread the document? What did law officers do? When the minister and I go talk, say, them power away and I give me a boku and no answer. It is a ridiculous defense when you are enacting a law that will negatively impact a key section, the media and political parties. Nobody picked it up until it was finally sent back. They are claiming, then they claim, say, then consult. There was no consultation with political parties. Then call we to a meeting on the 30th. Then they had all leaders of all the political parties, almost 17 or 16 political party leaders were present. At that meeting, there was no minister, there was no deputy minister, there was no PAMSEC, and I was disgusted. And I said it at the meeting, a crucial thing like this, not one of them could come and sit and engage. Instead, they give me what I call WAEC presentation and give us some silly answers to key core questions. When they can begin to teach me about basic internet and what have you. Is that what they call a consultation? I beg to differ. And waiting at my point is, if a law is going to be enacted, what do you fear from having people come in and discuss? So had Parliament not sent it back? Now they are putting the blame on law officers.
So, Madam Cole, at this point, waiting on a position as a consortium, because I understand, say, Parliament will give the ministry 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
For can do consultation and go back na Parliament.
So, we on consultation, now that's where they rub lipstick pan no more. Our position is that the document be withdrawn from Parliament completely and proper consultation and engagement. Not come and present whatever you feel to present to us as if we are third graders. Proper negotiation, engagement, highlights the potential issues.
So what if this not happen?
Well, let me tell you the usual thing with the SLPP government. Then go call una, then follow una talk pantap, and then there is no follow through. No follow up and no follow through. So it is their way or the highway. Similar thing with the decentralization. We have written letters everywhere. We engaged at a meeting where we finally begin raise concern. Now that's ended the PPRC chairman again calls us to a meeting, again the same presentation, pantap talk. Then we called for a meeting with the president. Dr. Gayama called us, we had a meeting at State House. He ensured that we would have an audience with the president. That was nearly 2 months ago. So they are not interested. And that is why you raise the level of suspicion.
All right, Madam Kola, just quickly ask Imran. The political party and they ask now that the whole cybercrime bill be withdrawn. Una can do proper consultation with people and talk about the thing them where they inside it properly before una can go back na parliament. Una go get for do this?
Well, you know, I don't know if my sister Femi been follow within Parliament really say and the directives we then give, yeah, because you not get anything for do with it. They suggest so.
No, now then you suggestion.
I'm coming. And Parliament also include political parties. Yeah, you have 4 of them in Parliament. Yeah, through each and every stage, even at the well of Parliament. One of the things which was bipartisan, meaning on all sides of the divide, the Parliament from political parties. There, number one, then commend the minister for a good job done so far, then commend them for the level of consultations done so far. Just that then say, reach out more, engage more. And this is what we are doing. This is what we are doing. We don't do a lot of consultations and engagements, right? Across the board. Even out of Freetown, Minister Mohamed Gamanswari was in Bo, Dongo Potloko, he was in Makini last week, all in an effort to consult. Next week, after the Easter holidays, more consultations to begin. And so, look, we welcome, right, this debate. We encourage more of this debate. But let it be predicated on what the facts are. We don't encourage people, like when the minister been saying on this cyber bill, let people go and read. Yeah? Read the bill. Lawyers will tell you that there is something called... Lawyers will tell you... Lawyers will tell you that there is something called the spirit and intent. It is guided and informed by something. So this is not something we a non-expert put together. A lot of consultations that happen. Then they will go for admitting and acknowledge.
During this consultation stage, the minister thinks say una need the political party them because through them una go able to reach out to them people una they support them for popularize some of the things the way they inside this bill.
But they not sabi read.
Look, Parliament also ask we say, right, that they need to be part of this effort for reach out to people in their constituency.
Need the political parties them during the consultation.
But we need every single individual. So it's not only political parties. Now that make
they bring them.
Now that make Parliament ask, I'm coming. Naturally, we don't bring everybody on board, right? In terms of consultation. But the point why they make is this.
Just don't listen to what Madam Cole said during the meeting where the minister called them. Yeah. Nobody when a stakeholder.
The technical expert was there. Mumin Jalo, I take every single one Parliament presentation there. Even the one at Sludge headquarters. We Sludge do.
The minister was there.
Right? Now Mumin Jalo, now the technical expert, now take people there too. Every single one Parliament. He was asked to make some brief statement and he left. He was invited and asked to make some research, so he left. Now the technical expert Mumin Jalo, now he did it. I sat through it. Yeah. One more thing again. I hope I have the time because I talk about local governance.
Well, they can't talk about the local government.
Now they look at the other issue where the consortium of the progressive political parties they then get, where now with the local government policy, where we don't they hear about and political party them don't they raise their own concern them, but now it don't reach to the level of consortium, Madam Cole. You can just remind listeners they're waiting on a concern on a get with this local government policy.
We get 3 main things. 2 main things. One, they're saying they want pull political party come on a local government elections. That's now for chairperson, mayor, and councillors. And what we read they say now this with press release. Where you they try for pull political party come on a decide where political party belong. Then council elections day, now they political leaders and they begin the introduction into politics. Now they groom themselves, you go see people the way now they start. Una say una no want politics and then kind key positions then they. Anybody will feel for stand can stand. The Constitution of Sierra Leone already don't make provision say anybody will want stand for council, chairperson, member of parliament can stand as an independent candidate. So as far as we concerned, it no broke. So we don't know why then they fight for fixer. Secondly, if all man able for stand, who that they pick, say you get 60 people we want stand. Who that they be the person where they pick, the one that we go finally get the symbol. It go come back to the government. Because by that time now, when they talk say the council will be run by the government. So now then go they pick now who that and who that out of the supposedly independent candidates, then they go stand. But meanwhile, we keep political parties in the parliamentary elections. That's one. Two, you say the basic qualification for the councillors for BWASC. But the basic qualification for be parliamentarian, now for read, understand, and for able to explain yourself in English. When them do them consultations, decide the way we don't go behind them back for ask say, so then they say then consult. Of course, political parties were not consulted. The day when they call we to a meeting, now that ended then give you the document. After that ended, now we go sit down, we read the document, we write a letter back, say, we get for talk. We want for talk with the president. Dr. Gayama call we go to our office, he talk fine. Me and into the talk, for let he go give you a date, we would engage the president. That was nearly 2 months ago. Then with the Minister of Information, they talk, say this thing they go through no matter what. With the local government minister, they talk, say this thing. So at no point after that initial meeting have we been engaged. Follow we highlight the issues and problems contained in this. We'll not say the entire decentralization is bad, but there are sections in there that they jeopardize the democracy, the multi-party democracy of Sierra Leone.
All right.
Nobody not talk to me after that.
All right, Madam Femi, continue for the routine at the studio. Imran, you don't listen to the concerns and what the political party then gets. Again, another gap of consultation. They need open space for talk about issues them where they concern but for sake of national development. Waiting government make up of this.
You know, I hope so my sister Femi Claudia School go see the humor out of which I want to say. Now that she's known for two things. Lately for politics, but first and foremost as a health practitioner. And I think she, well, I don't know. I don't add anything more than that. But then, look, on a serious note, I'll just say something, yeah? In 2004, and this is a bit of history now, and I'll do it in 2 minutes. In 2004, there was a similar, right, nationwide engagement that was done, right, with the purpose of, see within the happening at local level, local government level, and how it could be more effective and efficient, yeah? So when Femi, they say, within we want for, not we want for, this was generated by nationwide consultation, as it was done in 2004. In 2004, 70%, as it is now, within consultations that we then do, people then suggest that in communities and say, we want it to be free from politics, right? Let us have the ability for vote for people and devoid of politics.
That is not
and
true,
political
Imran.
parties. Their reports then they on record. I'll provide them to you after, yeah? Now, waiting prevent them from happening in 2004, under the later Metijan Kaba, was a certain individual who was parliamentary leader and leader of the opposition, right? Anes Bai Kuruma, who objected at the time. Simply say, it's not good for a political party. And President Ahmed Tijan Kaba, the late man, it was 2 years outside, right, this peaceful we don't get after a brutal civil war, had some primary concerns about continuing to hold the peace together. And so it's okay, Lord Lefam, the next administration will pick up on it.
So now
lo and behold, it never did. So the point why they make is this. Another consultations was done for this one also. 70% right, also say the same thing for efficiency and an effective delivery.
70%
right,
of all of them.
of the people who are consult nationwide, including civil society who are engaged in this, right? Local actors, stakeholders are all involved.
Except political parties.
This did not happen overnight, right?
The political parties.
This did not happen overnight. 70% also say, in terms of the feedback, through this consultation, say they want it to be free from
including
politics.
political parties, because
the point I want to make is this.
Now they're actively involved in the
point
politics.
I want to make is
so
this.
Una involve them also.
The point I want to make is this. This is not about politics. No, get and clear.
But now
The point I want to make is this.
No,
The point I want to make is this. Stop giving the impression as if to say this is not something we get for effect other political parties.
Yes,
I am SNPP. We have so many areas where we get councillors, mayors, and all that kind of thing. Is it not going to affect us? Why for once we're not going to begin to think about the party politics and think about national development? I think that's the important thing to do. And don't forget that we are in power today. We hope and we pray that President Julius Maada Bio will have a second term. But there will come a time under this sun, before God and man, where we will be in opposition.
But you're not
thinking
thinking that way. You are not
relevant
thinking
to us
that
and
way.
applicable to us back, when entering the camp. Okay, so this is not about politics. Far removed from politics.
It is very
Then
much
we
about
left for the
politics.
put politics by every single thing. I hope you understand. Because if not for politics no more, we self not the SFP get something for us. But this has nothing to do with
And
politics.
this is where politics belongs.
It's about national development.
In as much as you say una dey look
It's about
beyond
national
for say one
development.
una self go dey opposition.
No.
But again, una also take into consideration say if una dey open the space, bring them all on board. It not necessarily mean say other governments can sometimes they don't want this, they waste money again, pull am, where una be don't waste money for do am. Why una not just open the space once and for all?
And
Una all
collaborate.
reach at a point where una agree on certain thing where other governments not gonna need for change am.
Look, bottom line is this. Nothing was generated by this government alone. Yeah? Everything that was done on this local government act was done with consultations nationwide, including civil society organizations and other organizations. They did it. I hope you understand. Those are the conclusions. Those are the conclusions derived out of nationwide consultation. And it's interesting, fancy. 14 years, 18 years back, similar consultations were done. We are still arrive at 70% in terms of waiting at the support. It is the same that we are getting now.
This same consultation you talk about, now clearly Madam Cole don't say, una can call them into a meeting, but according to her any words, I just pantap talk. Waiting they happen, una not they implement as a government.
And after the fact, then they call me after the fact. Then at the key portion.
Hold on, Madam Cole.
Look, I think it is fair to say that opposition political parties them seem for one foresee everything to politics. So if I gap now and I say, they are not show me the gents now go where there is going to be political interpretation. Sadly no. Well, it's not supposed to be so in this country.
So then
Not all team no more now, right? I want to go buy junk self now politics for the para. No, but let us forget about politics. No. It does not help us. And when they talk about national peace and cohesion, how we continue to hold this nation together, what better way than for beginning to depoliticize some of the institutions than they? Do you think say NGC or C4C no more get affected? Even the SFP has to be affected through them today. But we own concern is about development, how development will reach them communities then they waiting people they appreciate and waiting will be the best form of representation. So this has been owned by the people. I hope you understand. And that is what we're following through on. Critical and important follow note down.
So to wrap up the program now, government ready for open up space for discussion and respond to the concerns them where them political party gets quickly in 2 seconds.
Yes, but then I go also encourage you now for do one thing, please, yeah? Whenever I get the opportunity, when I invite Emmanuel Gaima, right? He's an authority, he's an expert on these issues, right? And he will lay out the platform, I think, say in a more simpler way than waiting me to attend for Dunia, so that people understand that this local government thing has nothing to do with politics.
Thank you for your suggestion.
Welcome every debate, right? From the opposition, and there's going to be an official response.
Thank you.
They don't talk say the government's ready for open up and engage in a more response on our concerns.
Always.
Now we wrap up the program. una the political party and what una they expect in the near future concerning una concern one of them?
The government says things that they intend to not ever do. They're not a follow through. They try to present things in a fait accompli. Either una take them or una left them.
So you accuse them of playing politics. The same.
They are the ones. Now then they play this politics. Because if, for example, let us go back to this cybercrime bill, where they want slip and pass we all and it becomes law. And then you call us to an engagement. We go to engage, and then you do not engage us. You make promises that you don't keep.
Nobody not taking us through the cybercrime?
We are all competent to read.
So now ready for engage with them as Imran on state earlier.
If they're ready for really engage, let us do this steps. Let me pull this bill come out from Parliament. Let me sit down and engage. Like I say, we want to put a bill in place where we great grandpicking them. Go say no, the one they had them been tried. Not so for let them get for can begin they repeal, they begin for change and amend the bad laws that the SLPP is insisting, so that they at the end of the day, 2023, will have an unfair advantage over the opposition.
Thank you very much, Madam Femi Clodos Cole, acting chairperson for the consortium of progressive political parties. Then be there with me at the studio, Ian Imran Sila, we come out from the strategic communications unit, as we talk about concern them where the consortium of political parties may highlight na press this with them pro. Now they end the program. Good morning, Salon for today in edition. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Coleman and them produce the program. DJ Lava give you technical support. Mina Khadija Bangura, they say have a nice day.
And Mabel Kabade say goodbye, but don't forget, no left students in full you till April Fool's Day.